Back to my continuing series on cooking American style. Actually, today I'm going to go back to my roots. This is going to be a chicken tomatilla soup, a little bit of a Latin flair, kind of like myself, as you know. So I'm going to go over the ingredients. I have 2 chicken breasts with the bone. I have 1 yellow onion, 2 cloves of garlic, a 1/4 cup of cilantro, 1 dried chili, ancho chili. I used the smoked one because it gives it a little bit of a flavor. And I have 3 of the corn tortillas. We're going to use a 1/4 cup of cumin. We're going to use 4 cups of chicken broth. I have 8 ounces of plum tomatoes, 1 avocado, 1 lime, and of course some salt and pepper. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the chicken breast into the oven. They're heating at 365. We're going to throw them in there for 40 to 45 minutes, and then we'll start preparing the other stuff while everything's in the oven. Action. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is we got the pot, and we're going to light the flame to about a setting of 4, 3.5, a medium set. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put in a tablespoon of oil, and we're basically going to sweat the onions, which we've done before. So I have the onion, and I'm just going to toss it in there. And we're going to sweat the onion for about 5 minutes. And after about 5 or 6 minutes, we're going to put in the 2 cloves of garlic. Okay, so the onion has been in there for about 5 minutes, and we're going to put in the garlic. This was 2 cloves of garlic, so we'll put the garlic in there. And we're also going to take about 2 pinches of the cilantro, and we're going to let that cook up for another 3 minutes. Okay, so when I sauteed it actually took about 7 minutes. And what you want to do is you want to get a bit of a brown consistency. You want to get a little bit of browning of the onions and stuff. So that's what it should look like when it's done. And what you want to do is, at that point, is you will take it into a food processor or a blender if you have a blender, if you don't have a food processor, and put it into the food processor. And then we're going to take the 8 ounces of the plum tomatoes that we have. And don't go crazy trying to figure out what 8 ounces of plum tomatoes is. You're looking at 5 or 6 plum tomatoes from a can. So that's close. And then we're just going to pop this bad boy on, and we're going to turn it on. Okay? And then we'll take a look at what it looks like after. Okay, so we have the food processor going for about a minute. And you just want to get it till the consistency of the ingredients are smooth. It doesn't take much. So I'm just going to pop this off. And we're going to bring it over here. So now we're going to go back to use the pot that we used before. You want to use the same pot because the flavors are in there. And we're going to set it to a medium-high, setting them about 4, 3.5, 4. We're going to add another tablespoon of olive oil. And then we're going to add the mixture that we just made. And if you take a look at the consistency, it's just a nice, smooth sauce. Basically at this point, it's pureed. Pureed tomatoes with the cilantro and the onions and garlic. So we have a good mixture there. And we have it on a medium high. What I'm going to add to this mixture is the 1/4 teaspoon of cumin. So we're just going to sprinkle the cumin in, and we're going to keep this sauce on this for about 10 minutes, and we're going to just stir every minute or 2. And what you're going to see is you're going to see the sauce getting brown and dark. That's when you know you'll be there. So we're going to do this for about 7-8 minutes. So this has been going for like 6 minutes, and as you'll see, the sauce has rendered down. It's kind of turned into almost like a paste, and it's darker in color. And this is what you want because this is going to be the base of the soup. So next, we're going to take that 1 dried chili pepper, and we're going to push it right in. And we're going to take 4 cups of chicken stock. And we're going to put this right in here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we got the 4 cups of chicken stock, And what we'll do is we're going to turn it on to low. And let me grab a cover. And we're going to cover 90% of it, just leave it a crack open. We're going to leave this for 20 minutes to let the sauce simmer. And then we'll come back to it and add the chicken and add some of the... Okay, so the soup has been simmering for about 10 minutes, which is half the time that we want it to. So at this point, I have taken the chicken breasts out of the oven. And what I did was I just removed the meat from the bone and cut it up into small pieces. And now I'm going to add it to the soup. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mix it in so that it gets all the flavor of the soup. And I'm just going to cover it up 90% again, just leaving a crack open. And we're going to let it go for another 10 minutes. While we're waiting for the chicken and the soup for another 10 minutes, what I did was I took a ½ cup to 3/4 cup of vegetable oil and I put it over a high flame for about 5 minutes to let it get nice and warm. And I have some tortilla, some corn tortilla shells. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut them in half. And I'm going to cut them in half again. And then I'm going to cut some thin strips. And what we're going to do with this is we're going to put it in the oil and it's going to toast up into a nice... When you throw it in, you should be getting that nice bubbling. So we'll just keep adding some here. And the shells don't need to stay in long. You stay in for about 2 to 3 minutes. Just keep an eye on them. What you're going to see is they're going to get yellow and start browning a little. At that point, when they start browning and turning yellow, you just pull them out. And I took a paper plate, put 2 napkins on it, and I'm just going to put them on here so the oil drains off them. And then I just sprinkle a little salt on them to give them a little bit of a bite. So here we go. If you see them, the strips are in here. Been in there for about a minute, and I'll show you when I'm ready to pull them out. And as you can see, the tortillas start to brown, and I'm just going to put them here on top of this. And I'm going to let the oil drain out of them. I use a slotted spoon so the oil goes right through. Get them all out here. What we're going to use with this, we're going to garnish the soup with this and just sprinkle a little bit of salt over the top while they're still a little moist so that they hold the salt. And that's going to give you a nice little garnish on top of the soup. Okay, and I'm just going to finish up these tortillas here. They're all going to come out the same, and I'm just going to do the same thing. It takes about 2 to 3 minutes. So let's finish this up and then we'll start putting the soup together. A ladle, and just pick up some nice chicken in there. You see how you get some nice chunky, it's a nice chunky chicken in there. So we got our soup here. And we'll just prepare to prep it. So what I'll do is I'll take some avocado. We'll put some avocado in the middle there. It's a nice little refreshing content to the soup. I'm going to take a slice of lime, put a slice of lime there, get some cilantro that we had left over, sprinkle some cilantro. We made some of these tortilla shells. And then last, I got some Monterey Jack cheese and just top it off like that. While the soup was cooking, I added 2 pinches of salt and a little bit of pepper. And that's what your soup should look like when you're done. Let's give it a try. And grab some avocados, some chicken, get everything in there at once. I can taste the pepper. I can taste the cilantro. Very refreshing. The cheese, it all comes together nicely. As we say from the home country, muy bueno. Enjoy.